Facilities that make this program possible are provided by the City of Highland Park. Programs are produced independently by members of the community. The City of Highland Park is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of the City of Highland Park.
And I'm the founder and program coordinator for Highland Park Poetry and the host of Poetry Today. I am so glad I have two special guests with me today, both from the Sister Cities Foundation. Sitting right next to me is Carol Wolf, and Carol is the president of the Sister Cities Foundation. And sitting next to Carol is Emma Kowalenko, who is also on the Sister Cities Foundation. She is also on the board of directors for East on Central, Highland Park's own Journal of Arts and Letters. And Emma is also on, interestingly, the Modenese Society. Okay, I had to practice that. I wasn't sure if I was going to pronounce it correctly. Wow, so Carol, as the president, tell me, what is the Sister Cities Foundation for the viewers that don't know?
Well, the Sister Cities Foundation is a part of Sister Cities International, which was founded by President Eisenhower in the 1950s. And the purpose of Sister Cities is to create people-to-people diplomacy, citizen diplomacy. And in the 1980s, Mayor Dan Pierce decided that Highland Park should have a Sister Cities group. And our first sister city was Ferrara, Italy, because we had a nice representation of Italian people from that area. And we did a lot of wonderful things with Ferrara. Rhoda Pierce, Dan's wife, was our first president. And since then, we have added new sister cities. We have 3 current active sister cities.
Okay, and what are those?
Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, Modena, Italy, and Yerevan, Israel. And we do exchanges, cultural exchanges, educational exchanges, sports exchanges. And we bring people from our sister cities to Highland Park. We send people from Highland Park to our sister cities. And it's a wonderful program creating opportunities for our residents as well as the residents in our sister cities.
Wow, okay. Well, I was always interested in the sister cities, and I thought, boy, it would be really neat to do an exchange of poetry. So in talking to you both, we came up with this brilliant idea to have a poetry. Now, you added the prose element.
Well, it wasn't really we who added what happened was when we were discussing this idea of yours, which we were thrilled to embrace, with the committee in Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta didn't have a poet in residence, they had an author in residence. And he, wanting to participate in the event, asked if we could broaden it to not only being poetry, but prose as well. So that's when we kind of modified our initial plan.
Okay. And I guess, do you want to talk about how the exchange is going to work, or?
Well, I can talk to the Modenese side, which is, of course, by email. And so we've sent a couple of emails, translated the rules and so on, and the due date and the information of who can participate, which is all age groups, which is wonderful, and to Italian. And so we talked about language and how would that work. And so we have left that up to the authors to get their work first chosen by a committee there. And I guess the same will be happening in Puerto Vallarta.
And Yerevan.
And Yerevan.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to start submitting the works to you. And also in our emails we have encouraged art that has
Oh,
to do
great. Excellent.
with the sentiments that they're expressing about, because the rules are to write something about how you feel about the city or the town that you love. In the case of the Modenese, it's Modena, but it's also Emilia Romagna, because as you can see from that T-shirt from Pieve Pelago, the people that have settled here are from the region near Modena, and so we didn't want to exclude.
those,
So
sure,
it's really
yes. Oh, that's great.
the outreach is to that
Okay,
as
so
well.
now where on the boot is Emilia Romagna?
Well, it's in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's northern Italy, and it's not too far from Bologna,
Okay.
and it has a lot of beautiful small mountain towns from which, for example, Pieve Pelago is one of the towns, and that's where that T-shirt comes from. There's a fundraiser last year for building a immigrant memorial, and so those are the the names of the people. How many with that last name? 113, and
Oh my goodness.
etc.
Okay. Oh my God.
So that's
Wow.
so we're talking about
Yeah.
a population that comes from small towns as well as the larger city.
Oh, neat. That's great. Well, I guess when we talked about the exchange, as you mentioned, Emma, we are encouraging writers of all ages and writers of both prose and poetry. And do you want to talk about what sort of writing we're looking for, or what's the focus of the writing?
Well, talking with the committee and collaborating with our sister cities as well, we thought that everyone should write about the same theme. And we thought about, well, we could all write about the moon, we share the same moon, or we could write about, anything that is in our hearts. But then we thought, what connects us? And what connects us are those ties that exist between the feelings that we have for the cities in which we live, the people with whom we share our space, and what makes our city special, and what is the fabric of that city. And so we're hoping that we have categories in each age group: children, high school, adults. There'll be a winner in each age group. They'll all be writing about the same theme. They can write a poem of up to 30 lines, or a work of prose up to 500 words. And each city has a judge who will be reading these works blind. They won't know other than the age group who composed the piece. And they will be selecting the winners. And then we will be publishing those both on the Highland Park Sister Cities Foundation's webpage, and then on the Poetry Today,
It's Highland Park Poetry, yes.
Highland Park Poetry
Right.
website.
Yeah.
And depending on the number of submissions that we receive, we may or may not be publishing a book.
Oh, great. Yes, that would be wonderful. And so, writers who are interested, where can they find, I know that we've got the guidelines, submission guidelines and entry forms available on the Highland Park Poetry, but are those guidelines also available on your
They're
website?
also available on the Highland Park Sister Cities Foundation website, and I will repost it, and we'll also put it on our city link too, because we have a
great.
link
Okay.
in the city. So we'll get that done.
So run to your computers and
Yes.
download those forms and start writing.
And all submissions are submitted electronically
Yes,
to the email that you provided.
right. Jennifer at highlandparkpoetry.org, and you can send it the text either as an attachment or as text in the body of the email, and we look forward to start receiving those submissions right away.
And I was saying that we also are encouraging the participants in our sister cities to write in their native language, but we're asking them also to please translate into English for purposes of publication.
Yeah.
I was saying that I'm studying Spanish now. I guess Italian will be next, and then I'll have to work on Hebrew.
Of course.
But and I'm reading 100 Years of Solitude in Spanish.
Oh, wow. That's
And it's
challenging.
interesting to me how different it is, having read it in English and then reading it in an author's native language, and how many times emotions don't translate. So that's why we want the authors to be in charge of the translations.
Oh, okay. That
Yes,
makes perfect
so
sense.
that they are satisfied.
Yes, definitely. So, and I think we forgot to mention the deadline.
Yes.
So the deadline for this is
July 15th.
July 15th,
Yes.
okay. And what do you, the timeline after that, how quickly will things happen?
Well, I guess after all the pieces are submitted, we're counting on about 10 days to get all of these pieces to the respective cities so that the judges can read them. We're hoping that that will happen also within 10 days, I think. And then we'll be posting the winners as soon as we know.
All right, very
We,
exciting.
our goal, the Highland Park Sister Cities Foundation is a 501c3 charity. So we do fundraising. The City of Highland Park supports us, and we're very, very appreciative for that. However, to do the programs that we do,
Sure.
for example, this T-shirt you see here in red, this was from a soccer tournament we had last summer over the 4th of July. And so in order to run the programs that we do, it's costs money.
Sure.
So every 3 years, we do a big fundraiser. And this will be our 5th fundraiser, and it's a gourmet gala. And this year we are so excited because we are going to have at least 2 chefs from Puerto Vallarta,
Wow.
a chef from Modena,
That's right.
and a chef from Yerevan, Israel.
Oh my goodness.
They will be working with Carlos Nieto, who will be coordinating it. Carlos is just a treasured friend to the Sister Cities Foundation, and Debbie, of course, his wife. And it's interesting because this year we have the chef coming in from Yerevan, and she needs to work in a kosher kitchen. And the event takes place at the country club. So Eli Mizrahi is going to, from Mizrahi Grill, is
Okay.
going to let her use his catering kitchen to prepare her
Oh,
portion of the dinner.
fabulous.
And we're going to have the chef set up at stations. And this will be on October 15th at Highland Park Country Club. Save the dates are going out very soon. But if possible, we would like to have books and
Oh,
announce
right.
the
Oh,
winners
yes.
at this event. So
Excellent.
yeah, so that's our goal.
Oh, fabulous. It sounds delicious.
It will be wonderful.
Oh my goodness. So so Carlos Nieto, he represents the US in
Yes.
terms of for the US cooking.
You'll
And in
facilitate.
addition to Carlos, I do have to say that Chef Z from Highland Park Country Club
Oh,
is
okay.
a wonderful friend to
Oh,
the
fabulous.
foundation, and he will also be helping with the ordering and helping with coordinating. It's a huge undertaking, and we are so
Yeah.
appreciative of the support that we get from so many members of our community.
Well, it does sound like a wonderful exchange, especially since, not only with the poetry and prose will we be getting an exchange about sort of the love of the soul of the cities, the fabric, the
And the
things that are
food.
beautiful, but now we're also getting the food.
The
Yes.
culinary.
Very.
And we'll be
very
having
nice.
an auction.
Okay.
And Aaron Freeman is
Yeah.
going to be our auctioneer, so
Oh,
that
how
will be
wonderful.
fun.
Yeah,
And we're
that's
going to
great.
have a silent auction, and we're just working on all of this now. So we know it's going to be a wonderful event. This is like I said, we do it every 3 years,
Okay.
and this is the 5th time, and we are consistently sold out.
Oh my goodness.
So
All
check the
right.
website.
So yeah, okay. So how quickly do we have to get the tickets?
Yeah.
All right. Wow. I was thinking, all right, that's something to save up for. You mentioned sort of the soccer exchange. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what that was?
Well,
Or
I
how
get
that worked?
goosebumps just thinking about it, because the beauty about exchanges is bringing people together. And so we brought, for this particular exchange, we had a team of 12-year-olds from Puerto Vallarta, many of whom had never left Mexico, let alone been to the United States. They came with some of their parents and members of the Puerto Vallarta Highland Park Sister Cities Committee. We have our counterparts in each of our sister
Okay.
cities. And Angelo Biondi and the Modenese Society, and Lou Lamberti, who is, I don't even know how to describe
I
Lou.
know, he's
He does
amazing.
everything. He is amazing. He's
Yeah.
just amazing. He's like, there used to be a commercial on TV where you would want to sit down and someone would put the chair there and you'd be able to have the
Okay.
chair. So that's Lou.
That's
Okay.
So he found us Angelo, who ran the tournament,
Oh.
and the Park District was incredible because they let us use the fields. AYSO Highland Park provided us the refs and striped the fields. And
We had a lot of great sponsors.
so many wonderful sponsors. Parent Power Chicago, which and Bernardi Securities were two of our biggest sponsors for this event, and we couldn't have done it without them. And of course, Sunset Foods and First Bank and the people who are always there for the community. So it was just great. And what I love about the Highland Park Sister Cities Foundation is that there are so many people in our city who are a part of the fabric of Highland Park who step up when we need them. There's a woman, Aurora Santos, who's a part of the Mexican community. And she was incredibly helpful in working with the people here from Mexico. And the relationships that were forged will be there forever. And so many people's lives were touched. We tried to get a team from Modena, and we tried to get a team from Yeroham. We were not able to this time. Cost is always a big problem.
But we do have a soccer team from the high school going to Italy.
This summer, which
wonderful.
and
Including
I'm so
Modena.
glad you mentioned that, because this is what we find. We always talk about how the exchanges that we create produce ripples, and we never know where a ripple will touch or what the outgrowth of anything we do will be. So here we had this Highland Park Sister Cities Foundation soccer tournament. Coming out of that, Blake Novotny, the soccer coach at Highland Park High School, is bringing the Highland Park soccer team, high school soccer team, to Modena this summer for tournament. The people in Modena, the counterparts there, are providing them with games to play and places to stay, and will make them feel like you're not just visiting a foreign city, you're visiting your sisters.
Oh, wow.
It's family.
12 of those people from Modena will be coming for Columbus Day, so they will actually march in the Chicago Columbus Day parade with the Modenese Society.
Oh, my
so
And
this-
it grows
And
from
from
there.
there.
Oh, wow.
Because
come to the
they're going to be
the
coming
event.
with the chef.
Right.
Okay.
They're going to come in. They're going to march in the Columbus Day Parade. They're going to be a part of Highland Park. I know there'll be an event at the bocce courts. They're going to, in Highwood, of course. They're going to hopefully be attending our gourmet dinner with the chef.
Okay.
Then we're going to have an event for them on Friday, a welcome, because we'll have visitors coming in from Puerto Vallarta, hopefully Yeroham, Modena, and that will be at Birchwood Club on Friday. And then Saturday night is the big Modenese Society dinner.
Yep.
So
So
we're
there's-
going to keep them pretty busy.
Oh my goodness, that's very exciting. What about the Modenese Society?
The
Tell me a
Modenese
little about that.
Society, is one of the oldest. Well, it was an organization formed to for immigrants that came to Highwood and Highland Park to help them with insurance, with death benefits, and so on.
With a benevolent
It's a
society.
benevolent society founded in 1906.
Oh, wow.
And so it's one of the oldest.
That's a
And
long
the
history.
the main Modenese, Società Modenese, is in Modena, of course, and it has affiliates throughout the world, and one of them is here in
Okay.
in
And
Highwood,
this is
Highland
one
Park.
of the largest, isn't it?
It is. It's very large, and it has some 350 families, and then children, and so on. So it's a
Oh,
lot of
my
people,
goodness.
and so they have events that are tied to the cultural, to the language, and of course food.
What are some of the
history.
specialities for
The specialty of Modena and Emilia-Romagna are tortellini.
Oh,
And so
right.
tortellini making still happens. There are people that get together and have a tortellini making afternoon.
Not to omit Parmesan cheese.
Well, yes, Parmigiano is, you have to have the real Parmigiano, which is from that area.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's a funny story.
And the right broth. The
right,
broth has to be just
okay.
right.
And one of our members, who is our counterpart in Yeroham, Israel, sent me a picture on an email that she went to her local grocery store in Yeroham, Israel, and purchased balsamic vinegar from Modena.
Modena.
So
There you go.
So she sent me the picture of the bottle of vinegar, and there you go. We're all
Because-
connected.
Okay,
Because
we are
that's just-
definitely connected.
And
All
I
right.
think we should quickly mention the robotics exchange that we
Oh,
had, which was
definitely.
really, really
Yes.
wonderful.
Definitely. That, I'm so glad you said that. So, again, we never know where ripples will happen or what would ignite an idea. Your poetry exchange, it just, you never know. So, Jonathan Weiland is a science teacher and the sponsor of the District 113 Robotics Club. And he came to the Sister Cities Foundation last, I think it was August, and said, what about a robotics exchange? And we're like, well, tell us about this.
Yeah.
And he brought a PowerPoint presentation, and it was very cool. I now know more about robotics than I ever have in my life or ever thought I would. There's an organization called FTC, First Tech Challenge, and each year they put out a challenge to high school students to build a robot to accomplish some task or goal. And so we were at the high school for the launch, and a group at Highland Park High School and a team in Yeroham, Israel, communicated and built a robot over the internet.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible.
And
Wow.
Beautiful.
3 people from Yeroham's robotic team came to Highland Park in November, participate in the regional tournaments, which was at
Okay.
Lane Tech High School. They won first prize.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And
Oh,
it was
wow.
All the
remarkable.
news we should know.
And we
Wonderful.
had a welcome dinner for them, catered by Eli Mizrahi at the high school. Tom Kulentis. I mean, the high school has just always been supportive of all of the exchanges and programs that we've done, and those relationships have continued. And the ripples, right now, Hannah Pashton, who is the high school Hebrew teacher and the sponsor of the Israeli Interest Club and the Hebrew Club, I think it is. She is trying to put together a trip of kids to go next spring to Yeroham.
Oh wow.
And Jonathan Weiland is trying to get a group of kids together to go to Yeroham because they want to launch FTC in Israel for the first time.
Oh, so that they'll have their own competition program for all of the kids.
I don't know
Bayas.
how it will
Okay.
work, but all I know
Okay.
is that connections were made and continue to be made, and we're just thrilled.
Yes.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
a lot going on several levels.
On many
And I'm
levels.
sure I'm
yes.
forgetting things because, we are fortunate to have a wonderful committee. The
A
sup-
focus on the arts.
Oh, we just, Emma, thank you. We
Madame
just,
Prez.
yeah, seriously. We just brought an architect, a green architect from Yeroham,
Okay.
to participate in Focus in the Arts, and an artist from Puerto Vallarta. They taught classes at Focus, they participated in Art Night,
Oh my goodness.
they were a part of all of the
Yep.
festivities. So we really feel that the Sister Cities Foundation has a presence and is woven into the fabric of Highland Park, and we're so proud of what we've accomplished, but again, with the help of so many people.
Well, all those
And I have to
fabric.
mention Mayor Rodering, of course,
Yes.
because her support.
Okay.
Everyone who comes to Highland Park gets a certificate that she signs, honorary citizen that you're gracious enough to help us with. And it builds relationships. It puts Highland Park on a world stage. It adds another layer to who we are as people. And if any resident of Highland Park goes to Puerto Vallarta, Modena, Yeroham, they know that they have family there.
Yep.
And that's a very good point. Say I was interested in going to Modena or Yeroham or Puerto Vallarta, and I don't know anybody there. But if I know you,
Sure.
can I contact the Sister Cities Foundation and say I'm
Absolutely.
looking for
Absolutely.
advice? And
Absolutely.
And you would probably be best to contact City Hall. Bryce Johnson is our current liaison, and he could put you or whomever wanted to know more about our sister cities in touch with us. Also, we welcome members of the community to attend our meetings. We meet the fourth Monday of every month. This week, however, it will be Tuesday because, of the
As a
holiday.
Memorial Day, okay.
Right, but we will be, and our schedule might be a little off for the summer months, but it's posted
It's
in,
posted.
yeah, so, but anyway, it's open to the community as well. We welcome them.
Oh, fabulous. Yes, well, that's a great, I mean, I know people, I think you used to have, I think there used to be, is it coupon books or something? Because we do still get residents asking for those.
Many years ago,
Many years
it
ago.
was put together by some restaurateurs who are wonderful friends of ours in Puerto Vallarta, and that didn't continue. It turned out not to be something that we could work seamlessly.
Oh, I see.
So, but
Right.
we encourage the residents from Highland Park to visit our sister cities because you'll love them. They're the beautiful, beautiful cities with wonderful people, and like I said,
Well, now, as
family.
president, have you had the opportunity to travel to all of the sister cities?
No, I've been to Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
And we've created such wonderful friendships there. Members of the Highland Park Sister Cities Committee, our foundation, have attended weddings of
Oh, my
people in Puerto Vallarta. We've become family, and that's what happens. I'm hoping to go to Modena very soon,
Yes.
hopefully.
Certainly want to.
And Yeroham, I would love to. So,
Well,
but
Puerto
we-
Vallarta is the oldest, I mean, it's the longest.
Right, 12
sister-
years.
12 years.
It,
yeah.
we've been around for many years, but that relationship is
relationship.
the,
Okay.
Yeah, it's
the
12 years
longest.
old.
One thing too is that all of the members of the board, we pay our own way with everything all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
even if we take somebody out to lunch,
Absolutely.
we pay our own way. It's a pleasure to be able to represent Highland Park and to be able to bring the richness of our city to our sister cities.
Well, definitely enrichment for everybody seems to be the goal as well as the result. I love your metaphor of the ripples that you
Sure.
know.
My poem.
The ripples. There you are.
Well, just how the simple idea can have such.
We've been to
profound
Ravinia with the sister cities.
Many times they
Yeah.
love Ravinia.
Yeah,
they
because
love
that's
the
such a
classical
treasure.
concerts. In
Yes.
fact, there is a concert at Ravinia. It's a Friday night in July. I think it's the 17th or 19th. And I've been in touch with Wells Kaufman. There's a Mexican conductor who will be, so we're going to have a picnic. And this is also available to people who want to come. We'll be having seats in the pavilion for the concert. We'll be having a picnic on the lawn. So we try to embrace as many cultural opportunities as the city provides. We have a sculpture of a whale, which is in
Yes.
downtown Highland Park, which was a gift from the people of Puerto Vallarta to the people of Highland Park. And it's in our little pocket park, which is Sister Cities Park. There is a Huichol, who are the indigenous people to Puerto Vallarta, a Huichol deer in the children's
That's the
library.
one that's covered with the beautiful beadwork.
Yes,
Okay.
that is what they do,
Yes.
and that was a gift from the people of Puerto Vallarta to the people of Highland Park. There is a mural in Highland Park High School cafeteria, painted by a muralist from Puerto Vallarta with some students from Highland Park High School, and the theme of that painting is Amistad, friendship, and everyone who wanted participated in this work.
Benches.
There are 2 benches at Highland Park High
High
School that were painted by an artist from Puerto Vallarta at Focus on the Arts in memory of one of our members who was a treasure to us, Jim Rosenbaum, who passed. So we have,
And we have a jazz concerts in Puerto Vallarta.
and this February of 16, Mary Jo Papich, who used to be the fine arts director at the high school and is a very active member of our board and is the head of Jazz Education Network, will be bringing her jazz festival back to Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, wonderful. Well, there are many opportunities.
So
and
much.
we
So
but
much.
to wrap up, I think we
Poetry.
should do, yes, everybody should think about the writing poetry or prose about the beauty and soul of Highland Park to
Yep.
share with our sister cities, Modena, Italy, Yeroham, Israel, and Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and let the ripples continue.
ripples
the
go
ripples
on.
continue and flow. It sounds wonderful.
And thank you so much for inviting us to
Thank
be
you very
here.
much.
This is great.
This was terrific, and I hope we reach people in the community, and I certainly hope that we get people participating in our prose and
Want
poetry
those
contest.
submissions rolling in any moment now.
Yes.
I know that.
Those
And
ripples
artwork,
come
too.
this way.
Yes. That's right. That's right. That's like ripples. Keep them going.
Yeah.
That's right.